The Lexus RX still reigns as the ultimate luxury SUV for many shoppers in the US, and it still sets atop the sales charts.
And for 2026 model year, Lexus is adding some enhancements to this ever-so-popular SUV.
Stop funding your mechanic's retirement. We aren't just looking for good cars. We're looking for the unkillable, the tanks, the vehicles engineered to hit 300,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and gasoline. If you want to buy a vehicle today and still be driving it comfortably in 2040, these are the only 10 you should consider. Let's get straight to the heavy hitters. Number 1. Toyota 4Runner. We are starting with a vehicle that refuses to die. The Toyota 4Runner, specifically the 5th generation. Critics often complain that the 4Runner is a dinosaur because Toyota barely changed it for 15 years. But for us, that is a feature, not a bug. In a world of complex turbochargers, mild hybrid systems, and 10-speed transmissions that hunt for gears, the 4Runner is a relic of pure mechanical simplicity. It is built on a truck frame, the same architecture used for vehicles designed to survive in the Australian outback and the United Nations fleets. Why it lasts forever. The heart of this beast is the 4.0-liter V6 engine. It is naturally aspirated, meaning there are no turbos to overheat or fail. It is paired with an ancient 5-speed automatic transmission. This transmission doesn't care about being sporty. It only cares about working every single time you put it in drive. Because the engineering is older, all the kinks were worked out a decade ago. It is overbuilt and understressed. The ownership experience. Now, you need to know what you are signing up for. The 4Runner drives like a truck because it is a truck. The steering is heavy, and the gas mileage is, well, let's just say you'll get to know your local gas station attendants very well. However, the trade-off is immense peace of mind. You sit high up with a commanding view of the road, and the controls are big, chunky knobs that are easy to use. No digging through touchscreens just to turn up the AC. The financial reality. Here is the best part. The 4Runner has arguably the highest resale value of any vehicle in America. You can drive this car for 5 years, put 60,000 miles on it, and sell it for a shocking amount of money. It is a savings account on wheels. If you want a vehicle that feels substantial, safe, and invincible, look for a 2015 to 2024 model. It is the closest thing you can buy to a tank with a license plate. Here is the start of the script, covering the title, intro, and the first 2 vehicles, Toyota 4Runner and Lexus RX 350. Number 2, Lexus RX 350. If the 4Runner is a tank, the Lexus RX 350 is a private jet. This SUV is the gold standard for reliable luxury. For decades, the RX has been the go-to choice for people who want a premium experience without the German car repair bills. Why it lasts forever. The magic here lies in the engine bay. Specifically, we are talking about the models equipped with the 3.5-liter V6. This engine is legendary in the automotive world. It is incredibly smooth, provides plenty of power for merging onto highways, and, most importantly, it is bulletproof. Lexus doesn't take risks with the RX. They wait until technology is proven before they put it in this car. While other luxury brands are experimenting with complex air suspensions that leak and electrical systems that glitch, Lexus sticks to coil springs and proven electronics. The ownership experience. The ride quality is where the RX shines. It floats down the highway. It absorbs bumps, potholes, and road noise better than almost anything else in its class. The seats are incredibly supportive, designed for long-distance comfort rather than holding you in place on a racetrack. Ease of use is also a major factor here. The hip point, how high your hip is when you slide into the seat, is perfect. You don't climb up into it like a truck, and you don't fall down into it like a sports sedan. You just slide in. The sweet spot. While the brand new models have moved to 4-cylinder turbo engines, the golden era for the RX 350 is the 2016 to 2022 generation. These models combine modern safety tech, like blind spot monitoring and radar cruise control, with that legendary V6 reliability. If you prioritize a quiet cabin, a smooth ride, and a dealership experience that treats you like royalty, this is the one to buy. It is luxury without the anxiety. Number 3. Honda CR-V. If the 4Runner is a tank, the Honda CR-V is the Swiss Army knife. It is the vehicle that does everything well enough to make you wonder why anyone buys anything else. But for our purposes, we aren't looking at the brand new ones with small turbo engines. We are looking at the legends. Why it lasts forever. To get a CR-V that lasts 20 years, you need to know one engine code, the K24. This is Honda's naturally aspirated 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine. It is widely considered one of the best 4-cylinder engines ever built. It doesn't have a turbocharger to stress the components. It doesn't have complex mild hybrid battery systems. It just runs. Modern CR-Vs use a tiny 1.5-liter turbo engine that has faced issues with oil dilution, where gas mixes with the oil in cold climates. The older 2.4-liter engine doesn't have that problem. It is simple, effective, and capable of reaching 300,000 miles if you change the fluids. The ownership experience. This is the most livable vehicle on the list. Honda mastered the hip point, the height of the seat. You don't climb up and you don't drop down. You just slide sideways. For anyone with bad knees or a stiff back, this feature alone makes the car worth buying. The visibility is also best in class. The windows are tall, the pillars are thin, and the blind spots are minimal. It's an easy car to drive, an easy car to park, and an easy car to see out of. The sweet spot. You have two distinct paths here. Path A, the purist. Look for a 2012 to 2016 model, 4th generation. These are the last ones to widely use the bulletproof 2.4-liter engine without the turbo complications. The 2015 to 2016 models are particularly good, as they have updated styling but kept the reliable engine. Path B, the modern choice. If you want a newer car, skip the standard gas model and go for the hybrid, 2020 to present. Honda's hybrid system is actually more reliable than their turbo gas engines because it uses a simpler transmission design, ECVT, that is incredibly durable. Number 4. Toyota Highlander. The Toyota Highlander is essentially a Camry on steroids. And since the Camry is one of the most reliable machines on Earth, the Highlander follows in its footsteps, but with a lot more room. Why it lasts forever. We are here for one specific component, the V6 engine, 2GRFKS. Starting in 2023, Toyota replaced this legendary V6 with a 4-cylinder turbo engine to meet emissions regulations. While the new engine is fine, the old V6 was a masterpiece. It is an understressed, naturally aspirated engine that has powered millions of Toyota and Lexus vehicles. It doesn't have to work hard to move the car. which means less wear and tear on the internal parts. The transmission paired with this V6 is a traditional 8-speed automatic in later years. It is smooth, decisive, and proven. There are no rubber bands, CVTs, or dual-clutch weirdness here, just gears, steel, and fluid working in harmony. The ownership experience. The Highlander is the definition of practical luxury. It isn't flashy. Your neighbors won't gasp when you pull into the driveway. But you will have the last laugh when their luxury SUVs are in the shop for air suspension failures. The interior is vast. The buttons are physical. You can adjust the volume and the climate control without looking at a screen. The ride is compliant and soft, designed to absorb American potholes. It simply works every single day, without drama. The sweet spot: you want to buy the golden years of the V6 before they vanished. Look for a 2017 to 2022 model. 2017 to 2019. These have the slightly older body style, but are mechanically flawless. 2020 to 2022. These have the newer, sharper design and updated tech like Apple CarPlay, but they still retained the V6 engine. Avoid the 2023 Plus models if you want to avoid the turbocharger complexity. Stick to the V6, and you'll have a 300,000-mile family hauler. Here are the next two entries on our list. One is a luxury tank, and the other is the best-kept secret in the industry. Number 5. Lexus GX 460. If the Honda CR-V is a Swiss Army knife, the Lexus GX 460 is a sledgehammer wrapped in velvet. This is not a crossover. It is a body-on-frame truck designed to conquer mountains, yet it spends most of its life conquering the country club parking lot. That is exactly why it lasts forever. Why it lasts forever. The GX 460 uses a 4.6-liter V8 engine that is essentially a detuned version of what Toyota puts in their full-size pickup trucks. It is an engine designed to tow 6,500 pounds and drive through mud. But in this application, it rarely does anything more stressful than merging onto the freeway. This means the engine is perpetually bored. It is never working hard enough to brake. Furthermore, this vehicle was built in the Tahara plant in Japan, widely regarded as the highest quality automotive factory in the world. The tolerances here are tighter, the inspections are stricter, and the build quality is palpable. You can feel it just by closing the door. It sounds like a bank vault slamming shut. The ownership experience. You need to be prepared for the driving dynamics. This feels like a truck. The steering is heavy, the ride is soft, and it leans in corners. It also drinks gas like it's going out of style. Expect 15 to 17 miles per gallon on a good day. But for an older driver, the GX 460 is a fortress. You sit incredibly high with a commanding view of the traffic. The interior buttons are large, tactile, and clearly labeled. There are no finicky, touch-sensitive sliders for the volume, just big, high-quality knobs. It feels substantial, safe, and completely isolated from the chaos of the outside world. The sweet spot. The GX 460 had a long production run, 2010 to 2023, so you have plenty of options. The value pick. Look for a 2014 to 2019 model. These have the updated front end, spindle grille, but are significantly cheaper than the newer ones. They are mechanically identical to the brand new models. The tech upgrade. If you want Apple CarPlay and a more modern screen, you must look for a 2022 or 2023 model. These were the final years of the V8 before Lexus discontinued it, making them instant future classics. Number 6. Mazda CX-5. This is the underdog of the list. Most people think Toyota or Honda when they hear reliability, but Mazda has quietly beaten them both in Consumer Reports rankings several times in recent years. The CX-5 is the reason why. Why it lasts forever. Mazda did something very brave a decade ago. They refused to use CVTs, continuously variable transmissions. While Nissan, Subaru, and even Honda moved to these rubber band transmissions to save fuel, Mazda stuck with a traditional geared 6-speed automatic transmission. Why does this matter? Because a traditional automatic is generally more durable and cheaper to fix than a CVT. Paired with their Skyactiv G 2.5-liter engine, which is naturally aspirated, non-turbo, you have a powertrain that is simple, direct, and incredibly robust. There are no complex turbo plumbing systems to leak, and no fragile transmission belts to snap. The ownership experience. The CX-5 is the driver's choice. If you enjoy the act of driving, steering that goes exactly where you point it, and brakes that feel firm, this is your car. It feels far more expensive than it actually is. Mazda uses high-density foam in their seats and soft touch materials on the dashboard that resist sun damage and wear better than many luxury cars. The cabin is also surprisingly quiet, thanks to extensive sound deadening added in the post-2017 models. It offers a luxury light experience without the luxury maintenance costs. The sweet spot. You want to avoid the very early models, 2013 to 2015, as they had higher road noise and an underpowered 2.0-liter engine. The target. Look for a 2017 to 2021 model. In 2017, they completely redesigned the car to be quieter and more comfortable. The warning: stick to the standard 2.5S non-turbo engine. While the turbo versions are fun, they add heat and complexity that we want to avoid for a forever car. The base engine has plenty of pep for city driving and will run practically indefinitely with basic maintenance. Here are the next two vehicles. One is the world's favorite SUV, and the other is the ultimate road trip machine. Number 7. Toyota RAV4. There is a reason you see 5 of these every time you go to the grocery store. The Toyota RAV4 isn't just a car, it is a global phenomenon. Over 10 million of them have been sold, and that popularity is actually a huge advantage for you as an owner. Why it lasts forever. While the standard gas models are excellent, the true invincible version of this car is, surprisingly, the hybrid. Many people fear hybrids mean more complexity, but in Toyota's case, it means less maintenance. Think about the parts that usually fail on an older car: the starter, the alternator, the serpentine belts. The RAV4 hybrid doesn't have any of them. It uses the electric motors to start the engine and charge the battery. Even the brakes last twice as long, often up to 100,000 miles, because the electric motors do most of the slowing down, regenerative braking, before the physical pads even touch the rotors. The transmission is also unique. It uses an eCVT, but unlike the fragile belt-driven CVTs in other cars, this uses a planetary gear set. It is a solid chunk of metal gears that physically cannot slip. It is arguably the most reliable transmission design in the world today. The ownership experience. The RAV4 hits the Goldilocks zone. It is big enough to haul mulch or groceries, but small enough to whip into a tight parking spot without a second thought. The resale value is astronomical. If you buy one today, it will likely still be worth 50% of its value in 5 years. For the driver, it's uncomplicated. The controls are intuitive, the visibility is decent, and it gets 40 miles per gallon. It takes the stress out of driving. The sweet spot. You want the 5th generation, 2019 to present hybrid. Why? This generation fixed the slightly stiff ride of the older models and added a much nicer interior. The specific trim. Look for the XLE or XLE Premium. These trims give you the power-adjustable seat, crucial for comfort, without the low-profile tires of the sportier trims that ruin the ride quality. It is the perfect balance of comfort and utility. Number 8. Honda Pilot. If the RAV4 is for errands, the Honda Pilot is for crossing the country. This is effectively a minivan for people who refuse to be seen driving a minivan. It offers massive space, incredible comfort, and an engine that Honda has been perfecting for nearly a quarter of a century. Why it lasts forever? The heart of the Pilot is the J35 V6 engine. Honda has put this engine in everything from the Odyssey minivan to the Ridgeline truck. It is smooth, powerful, and exceptionally durable. Important maintenance. Note, unlike the Toyota engines which use a timing chain, which lasts the life of the engine, this Honda V6 uses a timing belt. You must change it every 7 years or 100,000 miles. It costs about $800 to $1,000. However, if you do this one service, the engine is known to go 300,000 miles easily. It is a small price to pay for this level of reliability. The ownership experience. This is the Highway King. The Pilot is wider than most of its competitors, which means more shoulder room for you and your passengers. The seats are wide and plush, almost like armchairs. It drives with a sense of weight and stability. On the highway, it feels planted. Wind gusts and passing semi-trucks don't push it around. If you plan on visiting grandkids in the next state over, this is the vehicle you want to be in. It eats up miles effortlessly. The sweet spot. You have to be careful with the transmission here. The safe bet. Look for a 2016 to 2020 model, but stick to the EXL trim or lower. Why? These lower trims used a proven 6-speed automatic transmission. The expensive Touring and Elite trims used a 9-speed transmission that was known for being jerky and hunting for gears. The alternative, if you prefer the older, boxier style, the 2012 to 2015 generation is legendary. It looks like a truck, has massive windows, and is mechanically very simple. It's a bit noisier inside, but it is built like a brick. Number 9. Acura RDX. We are staying in the Honda family for a moment, but we are putting on a tuxedo. The Acura RDX is arguably the best hidden gem in the luxury market. Most people overlook it for a BMW X3 or an Audi Q5, but those German rivals often turn into money pits once the warranty expires. The RDX does not. Why it lasts forever? To get the bulletproof version, you must look for the 2nd generation, 2013 to 2018. Why this specific generation? Because Acura did something brilliant. They threw out the turbocharger from the previous model and dropped in a big, naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6, the J35. This is the same engine found in the Honda Pilot and Odyssey. It is paired with a traditional 6-speed automatic transmission. There are no dual-clutch headaches and no turbo lag. It is a luxury car with the heart of a workhorse. It puts out nearly 280 horsepower, making it genuinely fast. But the mechanics are so simple that any local shop can fix it for a fraction of what a BMW mechanic charges. The ownership experience. The RDX offers a quiet luxury. The cabin is significantly quieter than a CR-V or RAV4, with thicker glass and better insulation. The seats are wider and offer better thigh support, which is a blessing on long drives. The controls are a mix of digital and physical. You still get real buttons for the climate control and a real gear lever on pre-2019 models. It feels familiar, intuitive, and remarkably solid. The sweet spot, you want a 2016 to 2018 model. These years are the facelift versions. They look modern, with the Jewel-Eye LED headlights and updated safety tech, like adaptive cruise control, but they still retain that reliable V6 engine. Note, in 2019, Acura went back to a 4-cylinder turbo engine. While decent, it lacks the effortless, long-term durability of the V6. Stick to the 2016 to 2018 V6 models, and you have a luxury car that will likely outlive you. Number 10. Subaru Outback. We end our list with a vehicle that defies categorization. Is it a wagon? Is it an SUV? It doesn't matter. What matters is that the Subaru Outback is the ultimate vehicle for confidence. Why it lasts forever. If you know Subaru, you are probably whispering head gaskets right now. But here's the good news. Subaru largely fixed that notorious issue with the introduction of the FB25 engine around 2013. The modern Outback uses a timing chain, not a belt, and a much more robust gasket design. The transmission is a CVT, continuously variable transmission, which usually scares us. However, Subaru has been building CVTs longer than almost anyone else. By the 2015 model year, they had ironed out the bugs. As long as you change the transmission fluid every 60,000 miles, even if the dealer says it's lifetime fluid, do it anyway. This powertrain is incredibly durable. The ownership experience. This is the safest feeling car on the list. Because it sits lower than a massive truck, but higher than a sedan, the center of gravity is perfect. It doesn't roll over in corners. The all-wheel drive system is permanent and mechanical. It is always on, meaning you don't have to wait for a wheel to slip before the grip kicks in. But the real reason it's on this list for older drivers? Visibility. The Outback has massive windows and thin pillars. It has the best outward visibility of almost any modern car. You can actually see what is around you, which makes parking and merging infinitely less stressful. The sweet spot, you want the 5th generation, 2015 to 2019. The Unicorn. If you can find a 3.6R model from these years, buy it immediately. It uses a flat 6-cylinder engine that is legendary for its smoothness and power. The sensible choice, the standard 2.5i Premium or Limited trims are also fantastic. They are simpler, get better gas mileage, and are more common. Avoid the 2013 to 2014 models, early CVT years, and the XT Turbo models if you want maximum longevity. So, there you have it. 10 vehicles that prove you don't need the latest technology to have the best experience. We live in a world that tells you to lease a new car every 3 years because you need the new features. That is a lie designed to keep you in debt. The wealthiest people I know don't drive brand new luxury cars. They drive 10-year-old Toyotas and Hondas that they maintain impeccably. The financial truth. Think about it. The average new car payment in America is now over $700 a month. If you buy one of the cars on this list for cash, or pay it off quickly, and keep it for 10 years, you aren't just saving money on repairs. You are saving $700 a month for a decade. That is $84,000 staying in your pocket instead of going to a bank. Your mission. Your next step is simple. Don't go to the dealer looking for the newest thing. Go looking for the best thing. Pick one of the tanks on this list. Find one with a good service history. Take care of it, change the oil, and then do the most satisfying thing a car owner can do. Forget about it. Drive it. Enjoy your life. And let everyone else worry about their repair bills.